Hi, welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about something that we all experience, and that is called emotional pain. And emotional pain, I want to give you 7 strategies that I personally used very intensely in my life whenever I'm very much in pain. And I hope that that helps you too. Now, I'm going to say first thing is we all experience pain, and pain is definitely not going away. It's a part of our lives, and it's a part of our life that really shows us particularly what we love. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about a time in my life when I went through emotional pain that I really thought I would never get back up. And that was, I had 15 years ago, my child died, and it was so devastating. I remember waking up every morning and having 2 seconds of as if peace before all the memory came back and all that crashing pain came down. And it was extremely, extremely painful. And it took me time to heal. And, these 7 strategies are things that I really did consistently in that process of healing to allow myself to heal and to allow myself not to repress that pain, but actually to just go through it and feel it. I want to ask each of you a question, and this question came to me very, very clearly during this process, that I went through so many extra emotional things around that pain, which I was surprised by. And it's all around this cultural need that we have been taught that we should hide pain, that we should overcome pain, that we should become better, or that pain is saying something about me, as if I'm to blame or as if it's a punishment. And all of that is just not helpful in the pain process. It doesn't allow us to just deal simply and directly with, I hurt right now. I want you to really, while we're talking about this, really keep in mind, how were you taught to deal with pain? Or specifically, how were you taught not to show it? How were you taught to numb it down? How were you taught to ignore it? How were you taught to be extra strong and, not deal with that pain? Not dealing with pain leads to chronic pain. It leads to depression. It leads to issues that we really are struggling with in our cultures right now. And so I want to really talk to you about how to deal with emotional pain, how I personally dealt in that time when I was so devastated by the loss of my child. And we're just going to start right in. And that starts with the very first primary issue. Pain is there, and it's not going away, and our repressing and pushing it away doesn't help. So feel that pain. Agree to your truth. We all feel pain, and admit to that pain. Admit to your feelings without needing to add a drama, a story, or guilt, or shame about it. Just admit it. I'm so in pain right now. This is painful. Now, when I was going through this with the death of my child, I found myself being ashamed to share it. I was afraid to talk about it, yeah? And I isolated. And what I really learned is when I started to actually just agree, I'm so in pain, that it allowed me to actually move through that pain finally. Instead of all the extra shame and pain and it just allowed me to feel that pain and move through it. So watch how you're dealing with pain and literally just agree to it, feel it. Watch how children deal with pain. They feel it, they have it, they express it, and then it passes. So the second one is leading right into express your pain. Cry, shout, rage, Just don't stuff it and pretend it doesn't hurt. We've been taught this, I don't know exactly why, so that we all feel a bit better, but we don't all feel better. Yeah? We all know when it hurts, and there is no shame in learning to express our emotions, no shame in actually expressing how much it hurts. In fact, the more that we allow our emotions to be shown, the healthier and more emotionally mature and stable you become. Like I was saying before, when I lost my child, when I started to actually just express it as in all forms, my anger, my rage, my devastation, my depression, all of it, that's when I started to heal. And that's when I started to actually feel how much it mattered to me, how much I loved. The third thing that I want to talk about is talk about it, share it. When I was going through that, my first instinct was to isolate, was to hide. I was so afraid and so devastated. And my social conditioning was strong. It was, I should deal with this. I should just, deal with it. But sometimes we can't deal with it. Sometimes we need to talk about it, to share it with other people and dare to express that. This could be writing. This could be calling a friend. This could be meeting friends. And even specifically talking to that person. I spent hours talking to the spirit of my child. And that allowed me to solve and feel that situation. Number 4 is I want you to really understand that pain is not just in our hearts or in our minds, it's in our whole body, yeah? Most of the time when we're in pain, we tend to become very contracted and not move. And in order to move through pain, yeah, it's literally getting your body to move. And when I was deeply in pain, yeah, I spent hours really just curled up, and I needed to do that. But when I was looking to heal through that process, I needed to move. And what I ended up doing is I ended up going to Spain and walking and talking and that movement allowed me literally the contact, the expression, and to get my body back into flow. That was extremely important to my healing. So move with your pain. When you're ready, get your body in motion so that can create movement, which leads us right into our breath. Yeah. Again, I didn't want to be there anymore. When I was so in pain, I wanted to disappear, right? And sometimes it feels like this. And when we're in deep pain, our tendency is to, again, contract. And that contraction is we stop breathing also. We make our breath, which is our involvement with life, as little as possible. Now, again, when you're in deep pain, have that experience. But as you're trying to move through that pain and heal from that pain, we need breath. Breath is the contact and the engagement with life. Yeah, it brings life into our body and we express something out through that breath. Breath also gets our emotions moving and gets those emotions to flow. And thirdly, breath gives our body energy that it needs to actually deal with the pain that we're in. Pain is a lot of energy for our body. And without this breath, we don't have the energy to deal with it, to process with it. So definitely start breathing. When you're ready to move through that emotional pain, add a lot of breath. The 6th thing is actively seek connection and touch. Think about it. When we've been in pain as children, what helps? A hug, some eye contact, someone holding us. Now, when we're in deep pain, sometimes we want to isolate. But again, when you're moving through that pain, find another body who will hold us, who will share with us, who will touch us. Our bodies need that touch. It needs the sensation physically of connection to life. And there's no better way than getting touch. So as you're moving through that pain, seek out, Find people who can hold you, who can hug you, who can touch you, even if it's a body worker. And the seventh thing I want to talk about is there's a lot of attention about reframing our pain and shifting our pain and looking at the bright side and really, I teach that. But when we're in deep pain, the primary thing to getting that pain moving is to feel it and to have it, to be it fully. When you're in deep pain, focusing on the bright side is not the time. Yeah? Feeling it, expressing it, having it, being it is our first priority. And then, when you are moving and shifting into healing, then reframe your pain. What that means is picking again and again and again at that pain and holding on to it doesn't allow us to actually reframe it and open back out into life. When I was really moving into healing after this horrible and devastating loss of my child, going out and walking through Spain, allowed me to reframe that pain. It shifted my perspective into much bigger than just that pain, which meant I started to learn what pain was showing me and what I learned and what was happening. That pain I can't change, but it definitely taught me. It taught me a primarily deep reality of life, and that is that I wanted something. I loved something. And when you feel that you love something, it awakens our hearts. So much of us repressing our pain and trying to get rid of pain makes our hearts numb. And our world needs our hearts. So part of the pain that you're in right now is showing you something about life. It's showing something about your heart. And that is that you loved and wanted and tried for something. And it maybe didn't work. Retrain yourself to break through this conditioning of hiding it, of shaming it, and instead allow yourself to feel and express it. Allow your heart to grow through that experience of pain. You're in pain. It's not going to change through repressing it. So feel it as your body and allow your heart to learn and grow and your being to gain perspective about how alive you are. The experience with the loss of my daughter created everything that I'm doing because it motivated me so deeply about how precious our life is, about how important our hearts and our bodies are. And this is part of what pain gives us, if we allow it to. So if you would like to know even more about how to deal with pain, how to move through pain, and many other subjects about embodiment, definitely check out my channel. And what I want to say to you who are experiencing pain right now, I understand, and I'm with you. And you know what? Pain will pass. This moment will pass. Allow yourself to feel it and allow yourself to feel that you're alive still. And this is devastating right now, but you're still alive. And that moves you to the next moment where you will again feel happy, again alive, and again with perspective. I wish you very well, and thank you for being with me today.